Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I tell you what, Arsenal 2, Manchester City 2. The first thing Mikel Arteta needs to do when he gets in that dressing room is pick up his mobile phone, contact Greater Manchester Police and report the biggest robbery in history, because that is an absolute disgrace. And if anybody has got any other interpretation of it, whether you're Gary Neville, Gary Lineker, Howard Webb or Gary Smith, it doesn't matter. That is an absolute disgrace. And at what point does somebody actually do something about this? Because the incompetence is absolutely incredible. Look, Man City score a legit goal with the last kick of the game. Again, you could argue that it happened after the 7th minute of added time, just the same as Trossard's second yellow card happened after the allotted time. These things happen. Man City didn't deserve a point. Arsenal didn't deserve to lose. And those 2 points, we mustn't think that it's about the late equaliser, because the game was gone when that second yellow card happened. That was the point where Arsenal were deprived of the opportunity of winning the game. I think Arsenal have done incredibly well to get a point from that game. 45 minutes against Manchester City to only concede 1 goal when it was relentless is just an incredible defensive action. And look, flip it the other way. Man City score in the 65th minute and you defend it out and keep a draw. It's a great point. It's just the timing of the inevitable that makes Arsenal fans feel disappointed. But you should park that disappointment and focus again on the injustice. You've been absolutely robbed. The official Twitter account of PJMOL has come out and said that the second yellow card was for kicking the ball away. I really think they might try and move their eggs around and say it was for a shoulder barge, which would still be an injustice. But kicking the ball away and getting a second yellow card, have we heard this before? Oh, it happened to Declan Rice. We've literally got video evidence of Bernardo Silva and Doku kicking the ball away before Trossard does it in the same half, in the same game, and not getting booked. Trossard does it, second yellow card, you're off the pitch. I mean, at what point do we acknowledge that? Because I've heard Gary Neville say, well, he shouldn't kick the ball away, it's a red card. Idiot. Idiots, you're watching the same game as me. How can you say that? You can't pick and choose what's right and what's wrong. Consistency is what we're looking for. Kicking the ball away for being a second yellow card, fine. But do it to everybody. Don't put yourself in a situation, especially if your name's Michael Oliver, when last season you gave a dodgy offside to Man City, you gave a dodgy penalty in the Manchester derby to Man City, you didn't send Kovacic off for 2 red card tackles for Man City, and you didn't give Liverpool a penalty which could have changed the course of the title. You know, people forget this. People forget the fact that that penalty that Liverpool should have got at Anfield against Man City would have changed the title. It just gets swept under the carpet. The same referee last year, heavily involved in Man City decisions, does it again. I'm not saying it's corrupt. I'm saying it's incompetence. I'm saying it's egomania. It's absolutely incredible. Why is Howard Webb giving that guy these games? At what point does Howard Webb think, you know what? What should I do for Man City against Arsenal? Should I give Michael Oliver the game, who had a big raft of bad decisions that went for Man City last season? Should I give him the game, or should I give it to one of the other referees who don't have that? I know I'll give it to Michael Oliver. And then you end up in a situation where he makes an absolute arse of this game. And all I can say is, well done, Arsenal, because actually you've kept the scoreline to something that maintains credibility to a game that has got none. There is no credibility in that game. Absolutely none. And the fact that Pep Guardiola is still moaning at the 4th official, I find it hilarious. I mean, is Pep Guardiola immune to any kind of injustice that doesn't happen to them? Like, he's moaning at the 4th official for a minute, talking about how quickly the free kick was taken. You've just played 45 minutes against 10 men, mate, on a freebie red card that never should have happened. And you're still moaning about that. Bernardo Silva's wandering around moaning like somebody's nicked his bloody sweets. But I suppose that's a winning mentality, isn't it? When you never see your faults and you focus in on everything that you see as an injustice to yourself. There is only one winner in that argument for me, and that is Arsenal. I find it absolutely incredible. And the question has to be, why is it that we continue to dilute this great game in this country? Like, we had a brilliant game at 2-1. Arsenal are 1-0 down. Very good goal for Haaland. Then we get a great equaliser from Calafiori. Then we get a brilliant header from Gabriel. And we've got a title-deciding game between the two best teams in the country. At half-time, we're thinking, what a second half. And then right before half-time, we get an incredibly inconsistently inconceivable red card, which changes the whole game. And to be honest with you, that second half was shit. If we're being honest, it's Arsenal having to defend for 45 minutes against Man City, trying to find a chance against the red wall, and eventually the deflection happens and they get the goal that we thought they would do. But the second half was crap and it was ruined by the official. I think Man City walk out of that absolutely lucky, and Arsenal walk out of that absolutely robbed. And I just don't know what to say anymore, because I feel that this just keeps happening more and more and more and more. And especially in big games, it's just incredible. And also, you know, what makes me laugh about Michael Oliver there is the ego. It's the ego to not give yourself time. I'll give you a bit of life advice. When there is a big decision to be made in front of you, just take a beat. Take a beat. He can't get the card out quick enough. If he'd taken a beat and even spoken to his VAR assistant and gone, I'm really thinking about sending him off for a second yellow because he's kicked the ball away. The VAR guy might have gone, the problem with that, Michael, is that Doku did it and you didn't book him. And he'll go, oh yeah, I didn't actually. Okay, I'm just going to give a free kick. Because he knows he didn't book Doku. He knows he didn't because Declan Rice said to him, he's kicked the ball away. Declan Rice literally says to Michael Oliver, he's just kicked the ball away because Declan Rice has been sent off for it. So he goes, he's just kicked the ball away. And Michael Oliver goes, no, play on. So, I mean, and then minutes later, he's doing it to an Arsenal player. This is going to be very interesting how this plays out, because how Ref Watch and how Howard Webb and Michael Owen justify this. I don't expect anything better from Sky or the radio stations because they're in it with them. They're there to protect them. They're not going to say anything against them. But Howard Webb, Michael Oliver, and Michael Owen, they've got to come out and justify how one guy gets a second yellow or a yellow card for kicking the ball away, but two others don't. And you can't. You just can't do it. You can't justify it. In the same game, in a game of that magnitude, we're treating one like not the other. How do you expect football fans to watch that and then not go, something's going on here? I don't think there is. I don't think it's corrupt. But people will say it is because they'll go, how can you treat one team like that and one team like that? How are they allowed to do it and they're not allowed to do it? Why is it that you only get a yellow card for kicking the ball away if you've got an Arsenal shirt on this season? I know. And you've even got people saying, well, the reason Doku didn't get a yellow card for kicking the ball away is because he poked it away and Trossard booted it away. You might want to see Declan Rice's second yellow card. And Ant could kick the ball harder than Declan Rice did. So, no, they're bang to rights. They've absolutely... You know, the only saving grace is that Arsenal take a point, but Arsenal should have took all three, and that would have been a far different situation because Man City is still top of the league and they're still massive favourites. And if Arsenal had won that game, who knows what could happen? Disgusting. Disgrace. Get your comments in. Smash a like on the video. I'm live at United Stand at 8 o'clock. I'll speak to you all later.